For example, if you have your 3, 4, and 5 men hit the offensive glass on every possession, which a lot of teams do, we do that as well. So for our first 5 or so games, we chart effort, not outcomes. Obviously, we're charting if we get an offensive rebound. But for our first 5 games, we look at our 3, 4, and 5 men, every offensive possession, and we run the possession back and we look, did they attempt to go for an offensive rebound? And if they did, they simply get a plus for that possession, and if they didn't, they get a minus. That's the concept of charting effort rather than outcomes. Even if I go for an offensive rebound, sometimes I'm not going to get it. If I run in for an offensive rebound right here, and the shot came from over here, and the rebound's way over here, even though I went in here to get it, it might not be mine. It might take a bad bounce, I might not get it. But if I ran in to attempt to get an offensive rebound, we get a plus for that. So that is the concept of charting effort rather than outcomes. Obviously, we chart who gets the most offensive rebounds and those types of things. But for our first 5 games in particular, we chart 2 things. The 3, 4, and 5 rebounding, that's an effort play. And then we chart, did you win your race on every single possession? So when we go from offense to defense or defense to offense, we just have a checklist of the guys that are out there, and we put a plus if they won their race or a minus if they didn't. And then I'll go to my team and it'll be something like this. Well, Johnny won 92% of his races in the game. Steve only won 81% of his races. So Steve, that's not acceptable for us. We need to win 90% or more of our races. So it's difficult to do at the beginning, but we don't necessarily chart that effort stuff later on in the season because our kids are so accustomed to playing hard and doing it that it's already built into their mindset, and then they play much harder. So the first 5 or so games we'll chart effort plays and not outcomes so much. So if you went for an offensive rebound, if you won your race, then you get positives for that particular possession. So that's one of the ways that we hold our kids accountable of playing really, really fast. Did they win their race? Did they hit the offensive glass? And we'll chart those for the first 5 games, maybe 6, just because it's so time consuming for our staff. But after that, it's so ingrained into their mindset that they usually do it all season. And I might say to them, hey, it looks like you're winning, 85% of your races if that's way down the season. And so, our kids have been really, really good about playing hard, and I think a lot of that is because we hold them accountable by charting effort, not necessarily outcomes.